Let's be brutally honest for a second. What if everything you've been taught about attraction is backwards? What if your kindness, your endless patience, even your emotional availability are quietly killing the very spark you're trying to ignite? This isn't dating advice from some pickup artist. This is ancient truth reforged through Stoic philosophy and sharpened by raw human nature. And yeah, it might sting. Arthur Schopenhauer once said, "Clarity hurts before it heals." The Stoics would nod in agreement, because real attraction isn't built on flattery or compromise. It's forged in self-mastery, unshakable presence, and the quiet confidence that comes when you stop begging for approval and start embodying worth. If you've ever felt confused, rejected, or like you're giving everything but getting nothing back, this video is your reset button. Stick around because by the end, you'll see relationships not as games to win, but as mirrors revealing your own inner strength. Don't forget to hit subscribe and stay until the final truth. It's the one most men never recover from. Now, let's begin. 1. If you pedestalize her, you've already lost her respect. Here's a hard truth most men learn too late. Worship doesn't create love, it creates contempt. When you put someone on a pedestal, you're not elevating them. You're diminishing yourself, and attraction runs on perceived value. The moment you act like she's flawless, untouchable, or above human error, you signal one thing loud and clear: you don't see yourself as her equal. The Stoics warned against this. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And how do most men react to a woman they admire? They shrink. They overcompliment. They tiptoe around her moods like she's made of glass. But here's the irony. Women don't feel cherished by that behavior. They feel burdened because deep down they know a man who idolizes is a man who can't lead. Think about it. Would Marcus Aurelius have begged for approval from someone he respected? No. He governed an empire with calm authority, not because he was cold, but because he understood his own worth. That's the energy that draws people in. Not groveling, not flattery, presence. Pedestalizing also removes mystery, the very fuel of long-term attraction. Once you've declared her perfect, there's nothing left to discover. Worse, you set her up for failure because no human can live up to divine status. And when she inevitably shows her flaws, your disillusionment becomes her betrayal, even though you created the illusion in the first place. So stop worshiping, start relating, see her fully, strengths, weaknesses, contradictions, and hold your ground with quiet confidence. That's not disrespect. That's the foundation of real respect from both sides. 2. Neediness kills attraction fast. Let's cut through the noise. Neediness isn't love, it's fear in disguise. And nothing repels attraction faster than a man who acts like his survival depends on her reply, her approval, or her presence. The Stoics were crystal clear on this. You are only free when you stop needing external validation to feel whole. Modern dating culture tells men to be vulnerable, which sounds noble, until vulnerability becomes emotional dumping, constant check-ins, or frantic attempts to prove loyalty. That's not connection. That's dependency masquerading as intimacy. And women sense it instantly, not because they're cruel, but because biology and psychology are wired to respond to strength, not suffocation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Yet so many men hand over that power the moment they start texting. They mistake attention for affection, availability for commitment. But here's what neediness actually communicates. I don't trust myself to handle life without you, and if you don't trust yourself, why should she? Attraction thrives in space, not clinginess. It grows when a man is grounded in his own purpose, calm in uncertainty, and unshaken by temporary distance. That doesn't mean being cold or indifferent. It means being emotionally self-sufficient. A woman wants to add to your life, not fix it or complete it. Think of it like fire. Too much air and it dies. Too little and it suffocates. 3, she doesn't want control. She wants to feel your certainty. Here's a paradox most men miss. Women don't crave control in a relationship, they crave certainty, and those are opposites. Control is about micromanaging outcomes. Certainty is about unwavering inner alignment. One breeds resentment, The other breeds trust and attraction. When a man lacks certainty, he outsources his decisions. He asks, "What do you want to do?" Not from generosity, but from fear of choosing wrong. He changes plans last minute to please her. He avoids taking the lead because he's terrified of rejection. But here's what that signals: I don't trust my own judgment. And if you don't, why should she? The Stoics lived by one principle above all: live according to nature. A woman doesn't need you to be right all the time. She needs to feel that you're at peace with your choices, even when they're imperfect. That's magnetic. Certainty isn't about dominating, it's about clarity. Knowing your values, holding boundaries without apology, planning with intention, and speaking with conviction. 4. She will test your emotions, not to hurt you, but to feel your strength. Let's talk about something no one wants to admit, but everyone experiences: emotional testing. A woman might withdraw suddenly, say something provocative, or act distant after intimacy. To the insecure mind, this feels like rejection, but the Stoics would see it differently. They'd recognize it as a question: are you steady? If you panic, beg, overanalyze, or retaliate, you reveal fragility. But if you remain calm, grounded, and emotionally sovereign, that's when respect deepens. These tests aren't malicious, they're instinctive. A fleeting mood shouldn't derail you. A minor disagreement shouldn't send you spiraling. Real strength is quiet consistency in the face of chaos. The key is not to suppress emotion, but to master it. Acknowledge your feelings, but don't let them dictate your actions. 5. A woman is drawn to direction, not discussion. Endless consensus seeking isn't romance. It's paralysis disguised as partnership. Women aren't attracted to men who treat every decision like a committee meeting. They're drawn to men who move with purpose. Too many men confuse being considerate with abandoning leadership. They ask endless questions, not out of generosity, but out of fear. Direction isn't about control. It's about clarity of intent. It's planning with confidence, making decisions with purpose, and inviting her into a vision, not asking her to create it for you. 6. If you abandon your mission for her, you'll lose both. This is one of the most common mistakes. Men trade purpose for proximity. They dim their fire to keep someone warm, only to realize too late that she was drawn to the flame, not the comfort. Your highest duty is to live in alignment with your purpose. When you sideline that to prove your commitment, you don't become more lovable. You become less yourself. A man without purpose has nothing lasting to offer. Women don't want someone who rearranges his life around them. They want someone whose life is compelling enough to join. 7. She can love you deeply, but she must respect you first. Love without respect is just dependency wrapped in emotion. And no relationship can sustain genuine attraction without respect. Respect isn't about status or charm. It's about integrity, consistency between your words and actions, your values and your choices. It's built quietly, daily, through discipline and self-respect. When you live by principle, keep your promises to yourself, and refuse to betray your values, you develop a presence that commands respect and naturally attracts love. Love follows respect, not the other way around. Let me know if you want this tightened further for voiceover pacing, YouTube retention, or making it more conversational.